My name's Joe Blair, and I finally came up with 3 more models. This board right here is a copy of my 811, except I pull the nose in, pull the tail in, thin the whole board out, thin the nose tail, drop the nose kick, and drop the tail kick on it. So this board paddles faster, and it's definitely faster than the other 811. And I still have my same fin setup on it here. And the unique thing about this, what I like about the 3-fin over the quad is because being able to move this fin around gives this board a much bigger range. You put it up here, it rides like a twin fin with punch for small waves, and then back for head high, foot overhead. And then bigger days, you put it back here, and it turns it into a semi-gun. And it's incredible how far you can come from behind when you move that fin back. So this setup works so well and gives this board a much bigger range because once you got a 4-fin, it's just locked into that. And then I've got another model over here. Now these are 2 brand new ones too. This one here is my 810. And I built this board for bigger guys or older guys. And it is 31.5 wide. It's pretty wide, and it's still 4 5/8 thick. But I've got it foiled really good, and I've dropped the rocker in this too. It doesn't have quite as much nose kick and tail kick as I made a couple years ago. So this thing paddles fast. And this one, I've had guys that are 280 ride this board that are fairly good, and they can even ride it. But I would say the range on this, age and weight is really the same. So if you got a guy that's, let's say he's 68 years old and he's 180, he can still ride this. Or you get a guy that's really good that's 135, he can ride this thing. So most of it made it for probably guys that are about 220, 200, this board right here. And this is what we have came through with a medical breakthrough. When we first started making those short boards, this evolved to this one, and I got the tail pulled in, so when it does get good, it hangs in there. And I still have my beaded edge on here, back in here, but really soft rails up front, up in there in the catch zone, so it doesn't. But what's nice about this board is it's got full concave still running all the way through here, slight double barrel with just a slight bit of V to break that rail line back a little bit. And then I've also got a new one here. It's a 9.7, and it's 32 inches wide and 4 5/8 thick. This is the baby brother to the 10.1 that's almost 33 wide. But what I did to this one was to make it more high performance. I went and thinned out the nose, and I thinned out the tail on this board right here. And it still has all of my characteristics that have full concave running all the way through, back through here, and then very slight double barrel, and then a little bit of, just slight bit of V in the tail. The round pin is such a great outline because the waves are oval, so you want an oval outline. So the round pin is so good that you can make this thing dead flat the entire way and it'll still rip. Even a surfboard, you can do that too. Same principle. When I built these boards, I've just tried to build a blown up high performance surfboard. Nothing else. Just so they rip just like a surfboard, because once you catch a wave, that's what you want to do. You want to rip the wave. Also wanted to explain about my full-length decking. The reason why I put full-length decking on, because if you only got 2/3, you're losing 2/3 of riding the wave. Because you want to be able to come up here and stand and paddle into the wave like that. And a little trick is you can't just jump back and the thing drops, the bottom drops out of the wave. Or if you're up here and you're paddling in and it's mushier, you just take and lean, take your paddle, pull right into the hook. Plus, these things get cheater 5s incredible. So that's why I have full decking all the way up here. So you're able to do all that kind of stuff. And then also handles. It's not good to have them centered. You want them off here so you're not stepping on them. And when you put it on your hand like this, you can get it under your pit and control it more if the wind's blowing. You have a little bit more strength to it and walk further like that. And I got a little tip for you guys. Anybody that owns 10-foot boards or longer, most of the companies have the fins too far back. So get yourself some 4.5-inch fins, or 5, somewhere around there, and turn your board into a twin fin. Take those little side bites, a 2+1 system, and ride it as a 2-fin. You won't believe how much better that thing turns. Because when you're riding waves, you want the quickness is what you want. So you'd be be surprised until you get yourself a shorter, wider board. Turn your board into a twin fin, because this board right here, it's not the 9.7. 260-pound guys ride this board that are fairly good. So they're on a 9.7. They're 260 pounds. I've made quite a few for these guys, and they love that size of board. 32 wide, 9.6, and 4 5/8 thick for 250, 260-pound guys. So, and that works really well for them. So, you know, even those guys, that size of a guy, you want to get away from 10 feet. It's too long. Because the shorter the board is, the quicker it is, and the faster the board is. And that's the whole name of the game when you're surfing.
Okay. So if we're deciding between these 3 boards, how do you determine which one to get, or
well,
which
it all
two to
has
get?
to do with weight. You know, the yellow one over there, the 811 that's 30 inches wide, well, that's made for lighter guys. And then I went with the 810 for heavier guys. That's it's almost the same length, but it's an 1.5 inches wider, way noticeable, 1.5 inches. And then, of course, we went to even bigger guys here, which is the 9.6, 32 wide. And then, of course, I got the 10.1 that's almost 33 wide and 5 thick. So I got all those sizes, but they all look the same in the photos. It's hard to tell them apart. But because I try to keep that same style no matter if I'm making a big boat. And I still even make boards that are 10.5 feet long, 36 wide, 5 1/4 for great big guys, guys that are 3 1/4, 300. So now they can get out in the water. The thing I love about this sport is the whole camaraderie and everything. It's bringing everybody together. There's tons of women that are doing it. That's what I love about this sport. And, you know, everybody meets everybody from everywhere and talks to everybody. Then they meet new friends and get to go out in the water together. So this is a really unique sport. I want to thank Laird Hamilton for bringing us aloha and bringing us such a wonderful sport. Thanks.